Good morning. Welcome to Hobby Evolution episode 1384. My voice is still a little hoarse. I feel it starting to come back. It really wants to come back. What's up? Good morning. It's cold. Whew. It's cold. It's a hoodie day. It's one of those days where I took Ernie outside. We had to put a sweater on Ernie. Ernie's is it hot-blooded or cold-blooded? Biscuit was the opposite. Whatever Ernie is, Biscuit was the opposite. Biscuit was just a little skinny dog. She hated to eat, and she was always cold. She loved to snuggle in bed. She loved to lay in the sun out in the backyard during the summer and loved to lay in her little doggy bed in front of the fireplace during the winter. Ernie wants to lay on the plain hardwood floor because it's a little cooler than the carpet, and he doesn't want to snuggle because he's hot in bed. So he's not getting a sweater unless it's 14 below zero. And got up this morning, looked at the phone, like it's gonna be okay. I know it's gonna be below zero, but not too bad, right? No, it's very bad. Minus 14. The real feel, minus 25. That's just fucking cold. That is F-bomb cold. That is F-bomb cold. So, yeah. And I think we're supposed to have cold conditions like this for the next few days. And this is like January is the one month that I'm concerned. I mean, I'm concerned really November through March for the dates of the Madison Card Show. Is it going to be snowing, icy, shitty, 25 below zero? January's January's the big one I worry about, and February to an extent. But January tends to be when we get like the nastiest of the weather. Not that we don't get nasty weather other months. Shit, we've had nasty weather in October before. We've had nasty weather in April. It's Wisconsin. But January, I worry about. The Madison Card Show is this Saturday. Sold out show, 140 dealer tables, show hours 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. This Saturday, January 25th, Sheraton Hotel on John Nolan Drive. We'll have the two ballrooms. Yes, the roof was fixed. They actually got it taken care of, I think, pretty quickly. I think the show was on Saturday. I think it was fixed Monday. But it was just a roof leak. It wasn't pipes or anything. So that's all patched up. They've had a couple of events there in the meantime. So we're good to go. Both ballrooms open, Williamson Ballroom and the entire upstairs ballroom, the Capitol Square Ballroom upstairs. 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. free admission, Sheraton Hotel, John Nolan Drive. This Saturday. Looking forward to it. I was talking with somebody yesterday, and I do have a feeling attendance will probably be down just a little bit, but it's January. There's still going to be plenty of people coming through the door. But there's other shows. It's a big show weekend this month. Rockford's got a show this Saturday. There's a show in Eau Claire. So I know I'll lose some buyers, and those shows will lose buyers to the other shows, and dealers, have to pick and choose which show they attend. So, but every show has a waiting list long enough that we don't have to worry about filling those tables with dealers. So that's a good thing. So this Saturday, Madison Card Show, Sheraton Hotel, John Nolan Drive. What else is going on? I shipped my ass off yesterday. A lot of shipping got done yesterday. Did a lot of shipping, did a lot of listing too. Listed over 300 cards in my eBay store over at 99centcards.com. Buy 7 or more, buy it now items at regular price. You'll save 25%. 25%. That's a good sale at checkout. So check that out. Over 300 items. I did add some of the autographs that were picked up last week in Beloit from the auction that ended last Tuesday. So some of those are listed. Just the certified autos for now. I will list some of the common, the in-person autos. Anything that's like under $5, if it's not certified, I'm not going to worry about it. But like a Drew Brees rookie auto, Deion Sanders, those are going to authentication. I don't want to sell those raw. So I've listed some of the certified autos. Lou Brock. It's an on-card certified auto from is it Ted Williams on that one? No, I think Harmon Killebrew was Ted Williams. Oh, Lou Brock was Fleer, Sports Illustrated, Fleer. What else did I add? I added a couple of my tobacco cards, Cubs tobacco cards. T205 Ed Rulebach and a T206 Sovereign back Harry Steinfeld. So those are in my eBay store. What else did I get up in my eBay store? A lot of Cubs cards that that were formerly listed on Collects. So I've just been going through my Card Dealer Pro, looking at the Collects, and I've got my Cubs box here. So added a couple hundred Cubs singles. Few have already sold. DJ LeMahieu rookie sold. Joe Madden sold. I think a couple others sold overnight as well. So check those out. Sold a Peyton Manning lot. I think a 50 card lot of Peyton Manning overnight. Took a best offer on that one. So kind of slow. Haven't sold too many lots over the last few days. But it's kind of, I went on a run. I spent like a weekend listing lots. Now it's back to singles. I want to get through this 4-row box of Cubs that are already uploaded to Card Dealer Pro, and then just get them uploaded to eBay, plus the new inventory that I picked up. And I'll likely pick up some inventory this Saturday at the Madison Card Show as well. So a lot of stuff going on. Sales were, I think, on par with what the weekend did yesterday. Yeah, no change in sales. Poor weekend. Based on my goals, my numerical target a year ago for 2024, still fell short, but not as bad. Now I'm looking to supersede those. January, but I'm still tracking well above January's numbers from a year ago. And that's kind of the important thing. I want to focus less on my numbers this month compared to the same time period last month. And I want to focus on last year's numbers because I can extrapolate that out and see, okay, I'm at this point in time, actually this 7 o'clock in the morning. So it's not going to have the most accurate. So let's go 20th. So 01, 01, 2025, 01, 20, 2025. And then we want to do same period. Yeah, 20. Yep, that's wrong. 01, 01, 2024. There we go. All right. Are those numbers correct? Those numbers are correct. So I'm up 35%. 35% over a year ago. And, I was happy I hit some numbers I wanted to hit last year. I'm aiming bigger, obviously, for 2025 and off to an okay start. I'm actually looking to grow more than 35%, which is I know is a big pill to swallow. So, but you've got to aim high, right? It's not completely out of question. I can make some changes and I can hit those numbers. But I've got to make those changes, and I've got to make them. You got to work hard every single day. So we'll see how we do. But so far, off to a decent start. I would have liked January to be better than what it's performing at right now. It's not terrible, but I'm looking to really expand on the 2024 month of January. And I'm 35% higher, but I want to be even higher. And I really want to compare myself to December. And I know that's unfair. But again, if you want to hit hard to attain goals, you've got to reach for the stars. So this month compared to the same period last month, I'm going to be way down. We're down on net sales. We're down almost 35% on net sales from the same time period in December. So again, that's a little unfair because that takes into account the entire day of the 21st, where we're only, a few hours in. But anyway, that's eBay. So, but I mean, even though my sales are a little lower, like, come on, I was out of town for 3 full days. So, I'm not complaining about down sales or anything. It is what it is. And when you are away, even when it's eBay and you still have the same inventory that's free for everyone to see, that old algorithm, it's not going to be if you're not in there doing, listing, or just playing around inside as much, it's going to hurt. And so my sales were still, from a dollar amount, my volume was way down. I think, what was I at yesterday morning? 204 orders to ship, and that was over Thursday afternoon through Sunday night. That's way down, but the dollar amount wasn't like a kick in the punch in the chest or a kick in the stomach or a punch in the stomach. It was we got it done. So, what else is going on? Had to eat right yesterday. Had my bran flakes, had vegetables and rice for lunch. My body's like, what the hell? You've been feeding me burgers and pizza for the last 3 days. What the hell is this? Where's the beer? Where's the fat? So it was actually kind of nice to eat some vegetables and rice yesterday. Did jump on the scale. I shouldn't, because I knew the number was going to be a number that I didn't want to see. Now, it wasn't not terrible, but I've put on, my lowest weight. Now, number is less important to me, but it's still a gauge. It's kind of like comps. Your weight, the number on the scale, is like a comp. It's kind of, it's not always the, we're not trying to attain a number. We're trying to attain a healthier lifestyle and just feeling better. And the number is a guide. It's a comp for that. Just because something sells for $50 today doesn't mean it's going to sell for $50 tomorrow, but it's a good guide to get us there. So, I still feel good. Less good than I did this time last week, because I didn't eat pizza and beer and burgers for 3 or 4 straight days, but we'll get back there. But my lowest number was I was down to 195, and that was I kind of wanted to hit 190, and I still would like to get down to 190 from a numerical standpoint. But stepped on the scale today, 201. So, and I definitely want to be on the other side of 200. Now, numbers vary, at 5'11", 201, there's NFL players that are 5'11", 201, but they're just built different. You could be 5'11", 200 pounds, but it's not 5'11", 200 is the same as the next guy or the next guy. So, so we'll battle to get my goal, is not really a number. My goal is to fit into, I have a Peoria Chiefs jersey, and I'm just this close to fitting into it. And I think it's a 40, is it a 44 or a 42? I can't remember, but it fits every button. I can get every button on. Now, look out, because if I'm wearing it right now, one of those buttons might come off like a freaking piece of shrapnel. But getting closer, although the last few days have put me a little further back. But anyway, I speak this out loud to hold myself accountable, and because when you start eating garbage, when you go on vacation or it's hard to get back to eating chicken and rice and vegetables and fruit all day and salad. and not reaching for the potato chips and sugar and all that bullshit. So I'm just going to keep talking out loud and remind myself how terrible some of that food is. So have me some rice and vegetables. I hope I have veg. I don't want to leave the house today, although I probably will have to take Ernie to doggy daycare. But I want to go to the grocery store. So here we are. Man, my office is a freaking mess. And it's like when you leave, when you leave for a few days and you come home and it's just like, you always want to leave a clean house. Like, because you don't want to come home, because especially me, like, especially when I go to like Cubs convention or spring training, if my office, like it is right now, and it was before I left, a mess, I come home to a bigger mess, because now I've got my freaking binders. I've got a box of cards. I've got my backpack still with shit. I've got, the spare bedroom over here has got all my other shit. And it's just a mess on top of a mess. So, and I come back to, a lot of work to do, orders to ship. I've got the show this weekend to prepare for. Got a lot of work to do. And it kind of sets me back, and you're in this like mindset, like a messy mindset, and it leads to messy work, I think. So, but maybe next week we'll tackle that next week. So that's my life. Let's go to the chat. What's going on? Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Hey, by the way, speaking of Tuesday, 99centcards.com. I've got auctions ending tonight, and we'll stream live this evening at 7 p.m. Central right here on YouTube. And we'll count down those auctions. Maybe we'll pop those up in a little bit, show you what is ending this evening at auction. Did get some auctions loaded last night. I was surprised. I had a whole bunch of Ken Griffey Jr. Let me show you. I was surprised these didn't sell. And I think these were from my trip to Dallas and Oklahoma City a couple months ago. I was really surprised that these Ken Griffey Jr. cards didn't sell. I had a lot. I had a ton of auctions last night, and most of them didn't sell. I don't even know how many. But I did check. I was a little concerned. I'm like, man, am I spending more than I'm making on auction insertions? Is this screen going to be big enough? So the Star, 1990 Star, Ken Griffey Jr., Yellow Star, and I know they're it's Griffey, so I don't know if I'm going to put them. I think they were in my stores, Buy It Nows. I'll probably just convert them over. And they haven't been in my store long, maybe a month. But I'll probably just convert them back over to Buy It Now listings for $1.75 free shipping. But I was surprised by some of the auctions that didn't. All of this stuff will be reloaded into my eBay stores and Buy It Now. Like the 78 Topps Greg Minton, like it's one of those iconic airbrush cards. Not really surprised it didn't sell, but I am surprised it hasn't sold out of my store. One of the oddball Nolan Ryan cards, and I was surprised, like Bobby Bonilla, 86 Topps traded, like for 99 cents. I'm surprised. Brett Beatty, first Bowman, Adley Rushman rookie card, Mark Vientos. I think that's a first Bowman, Mark Vientos. So I was really surprised some of this stuff didn't get 99-cent bids. A Broder of Nolan Ryan. So I'll just relist them. Throwback Thursday, Kyle Schwarber. So we'll just throw them back in the Max Scherzer online exclusive. Eloy Jimenez serial numbered card. I got to make sure, I got to figure out where the line is between what this Elite Extra Edition Hype Velvet, I think I paid $2 for that. All right, so I think the ticket stub is my first. I don't know what I'll sell that for. I don't know what I'll pick that up for. Anyway, there you go. I'll get some of those that ended without bids. I'll get those relisted in my store at a buy it now price today. JK Cards in the house. What's happening? Good morning. Merle is here. Good morning. Andy says, fuck, it's cold. It is. It is F-bomb cold. It is fucking cold today. Whew. And I have a teacher meetings all day. Boo. David Pyers in the house. Good morning. 6 degrees in Massachusetts. Whew, it's balmy out there on the East Coast. Bill Simus here. Good morning. Kyle says, good morning. I hope to see you Saturday at the Madison Card Show. Hey, I'll be there. I will be there. Hope to see you there too. Victor, frickin' cold. Rhino and Charlie didn't last that long outside. Enjoy Tuesday. Great morning. Thank you, Victor. Yeah, Ernie doesn't give a shit. Like, he just goes out and he's going to sniff around. He's going to do his thing. He doesn't care about the cold. He's going to go out and do his thing. And he had a little more pep in his step, though, this morning than what he normally does. Like, he still took somewhat of his time. Not as much time as a warmer morning. But he got his poop and pee in this morning. Mark, good morning. Temperature in New Jersey, a brisk 8 degrees. Merle says Josie felt the need to go outside at 4 this morning. That's fucking early. Fucking cold, fucking early. Fortunately, Ernie slept in. And so did I. I slept in as well. Unicorn Cupcakes in the house. He says, nose hair freezing weather. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. You're going to have little icicles coming out your nose. Peter's here. Good morning. Mark says 22 days until pitchers and catchers. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Minus 18 where Merle's at in Minnesota. I think he's got the low. I wonder, let's compare. What's the temperature right now in Antarctica? Or what's the there's that yawn. Up in Alaska. Timeanddate.com. So in the South Pole, it's colder in Madison, Wisconsin. It's colder in Minnesota than it is in the South Pole right now. In Antarctica, it is negative 6 degrees. But it feels like 32 below zero because they've got some wind down in the South Pole right now. Not as windy here. I think it's minus 25 feels like in Madison. Let's see. Let's look up what's the really effing cold Alaska city. I'll see. Is Ketchikan? No, it's not. Kodiak? No. Nome. Is it Nome? Oh, it's balmy in Nome. Nome, Alaska, 17 degrees. What about Greenland? That's been in the news lately. It's really cold up there. Oh, shit. It's 46 degrees in Greenland. Man. All right. So there you go. Todd is here. He says, good morning. It's negative 5 in Maine, but can't complain after hearing Bo's temp. Yeah. Oof. 14 below zero. Kevin says, it's a cool 19 degrees in my region of North Carolina. It's cold. I spent a few years in Platteville, Wisconsin. So it's not Wisconsin cold, but 19 down here in North Carolina is brutality. I spent some time in Platteville, Wisconsin when I was growing up. The Chicago Bears used to have their training camp in Platteville. And Platteville is not too far from me. It's about an hour west of Madison, or where I am. Merle says, talking about snow on the Gulf Coast today. That's crazy. Orlando is here. Good morning. Mr. Archer's in the house. What's happening? JK Card says, Bo, has anyone offered to buy your entire eBay store? No. The answer is no. Would you ever do that for the right price? Of course. I would do just about anything for the right price. I would sell 1 million Cubs cards for the right price. That would solve your 60,000 fixed listing issue. Yeah. So here I have a thought on selling your entire eBay store. I think it's I don't think it's a terrible idea. If you have a buyer, it's a great idea. Here's the problem I have with buying eBay stores. And I've seen them offered like port sales on ComC, selling an eBay store. when I look and I've seen, I think some people have put it in Hobby Evolution. I've seen it in blowout forums. I've seen it on Facebook groups. And then I look at the store and it's like the value, I'm going to use quotations, the value could be, let's just pull a number out of our ass, $20,000. $20,000 of inventory on eBay. Let's do some math. But say they're $1.99 cards. What's 20,000 divided by, say it's all $1.99 cards divided by 199. So there's 10,000 cards in there, $2 a pop. I didn't need to use my calculator on that, did I? No, I shouldn't have. So 10,000 cards at $1.99, but they're all like 85 Fleer commons. Like, well, and I'll sell it at 25% or 50% of the value. Well, you got to take into account that if it's eBay value of 25,000, right off the top, you're going to have roughly 35% just in fees and postage off that eBay value. You know, your 12.5% final value fee, your 30-cent transaction fee, which is actually a pretty large percent of $1.99. So it's actually probably higher than 35%. And then say on $1.99, you've got 69 cents in stamps. You've got a 30-cent transaction fee. That's $1. That's 50%. You're over 50% in fees and postage. So, you know, what's the right price? And if it's a bunch of it's kind of like what I see eBay stores for sale, you know, depending on what's in there. But if it's a bunch of slow moving, non-liquid inventory, it's how I look at junk wax on Facebook Marketplace. Like, click next, like no interest. Well, what would you give me? Nothing, because I don't want it. Now, if somebody said, hey, I'll buy your entire eBay store and they gave me a great price, yeah, I'd take it. Absolutely. I am a business after all. So speaking of that, kind of different subject, and I am kind of hitting myself, and I don't know if they're in the chat, but I was texting back and forth and showed them the conversation. A pet peeve, but I also want to lay out a fault of mine. And I'm sure I've missed out on some great deals because I'm stubborn. And one thing I'm very stubborn about is pricing. Seller always has a price. Seller should have a price in mind, especially, and this is probably my biggest pet peeve, no low balls, but they don't have a price. Give me a fair offer, but they don't have a price. Well, what is a fair offer? You have a price in mind. You obviously have a price in mind. You are just fishing. That's all you're doing. And I am very annoyed by fishermen when selling things. So there was something that came up on Facebook Marketplace yesterday. It was recently listed. It looked like there was some decent stuff. And as I looked closer, and this is why I'm hitting myself, because I looked closer at it. Oops, wrong one. I looked closer at it this morning and I'm like, you know what? I probably should have at least taken the drive in 14 below zero weather to look at it, because it might have been a good deal. So Facebook Marketplace, it's just this like giant spread of boxes. Now you can't see much this first. And when I first looked at it, I'm looking around and I'm like, okay, well, I see 92 Fleer Ultra, Fantasy Lords. Like, I'm seeing a lot of junk wax. Fleer Ultra, 91 Fleer, 89 Fleer. Like, I'm seeing like all junk wax. Like everything in this photo, 89 Fleer update, I think. And I don't know if those are, you know, they could have been opened and all the Ken Griffey Juniors have been taken out. So I look at the second picture and I see a box of just 91 score. There's 90 upper deck with rubber bands. Like, here there was an 81 Fleer box, but I can't tell if it's unopened, If it's been opened, there might not even be 81 Fleer baseball cards in there. And 81, there's not much in 81 Fleer, unless it's an unopened box, and then it has some value. So I'm looking. There was in 58 Topps Eddie Matthews PSA 7, which is a good card. Like, you're looking at maybe $200. There was a PSA 9 76 Jack Ham. Everything else looks to be junk. Although I did this morning, I saw a 70 an OJ Simpson rookie just kind of at the bottom of the pile. There was something else I saw, maybe an early Kobe. I don't think it's a Kobe rookie. But I'm like, you know what? And I don't know what's in those boxes. So I reached out, and it has been, by the way, it is marked sold. So the description reads, I'm not about to go through these and individually sell them off. Will not part lot. You will have to take the whole lot. You will have to come take a look and give me a fair offer. I can be pretty fair in price, but do not waste my time with a super low offer. Okay, so he's got a price in mind. You can't say that without having a number in mind, because I can't tell you, I'll give you $200. Oh, that's a super low offer. Okay, you have a gauge. All right, what's not a super low offer? I tried to get that out of him. Didn't. So I reached out. God damn it. I reached out and I said, what is your asking? God damn it. Fuck. I said, what is your what is your asking price for this lot? And he responded right away. I've not even gone through the boxes or folders. I don't have a price. I'm looking for someone to look at, give fair offer, and go from there. Well, what's a fair offer? Which is exactly what I followed up with. What would you consider a fair offer? I'd rather you look at them and go from there. I'm not a card guy, and I do not have the time or need to look up every card. So you're lazy. I said, okay, thanks, I'll pass. Don't want to waste each other's time without a ballpark price. Like, just give me a ballpark price. Because if I go look through it and say $200 and you say, no, I'm not going to do that, then you just wasted my time and your time. So I passed. Maybe I should have went. It's it would have been a half an hour. It would have been an hour of my day, maybe an hour and a half of my day. I might have came back empty-handed. Hell, maybe $200, $300 would have been a great offer. And he would have been like, yeah, I'll take it. But I never knew. And also, it's not something that I'm going to hit myself over. I'm not going to be like, oh, God, why didn't I do that? It's a decision I made, and I'm okay with it. Now, maybe I missed out on a deal. And I'm sure I have missed out on deals because I don't take the time to go look. And I look at something and I'm like, oh, it's just a bunch of junk wax. Sometimes I probably should take that chance. But in this instance, I decided I think he's just fishing. He's just fishing for offers. But oh well. On to the next one, right? Philly Jones in the house. Good morning. Merle says they can just add every card to their cart and get 25% off. There you go. Yeah, even better. Gem City Card Show. What's up? Sorry I'm late. I was busy walking outside without gloves to see if I could experience pain. So Brian is comment in regards to Macomb, Illinois. And this is not something new. Like, this has been going on for at least a couple years, because I have friends that are parents of kids in the Macomb School District. And every year they post this freaking letter from the superintendent of Macomb, and it's absolutely ridiculous. So I'm going to read about it. All right. So where is it at? So here, I'll share the screen. Sent. Oops, we want to share this one. So here it is. I don't know if you can read it. Dear parents and guardians, here's the process I use, and this is from the superintendent of Macomb Schools, Macomb, Illinois. Snow, ice, current, and expected road conditions. Weather forecasts that predict significant snowfall or ice will prompt the following procedures. Number one, I will begin driving snow routes by 4 a.m. to check the current road conditions. Our district is divided into 4 quadrants, and I drive bus routes in all 4 quadrants. Number two, if I determine the conditions fall into the, quote, normal winter driving conditions for central Illinois, then I will contact the transportation company and inform them we are having school and to prepare the buses. Number three, if I determine the current road conditions are unsafe but will be safe in a few hours, I will institute the 2-hour delay. This allows the road crews to clean and clear the roads, making travel safer. And number four, if I determine the current conditions are unsafe, it's unlikely they will improve in 2 hours, I will cancel school. I will do my best to make this decision no later than 5:30 a.m. And here's, like, that seems fair, right? That all seems fair. I'm okay with all of that. But here's the note that kind of gets me. The first of a couple things. Note, rarely will I call off school the night before based solely on the forecast. In my experience, the forecast is incorrect nearly 40% of the time. He does have a PhD. Maybe it's in following forecast accuracy. We miss far fewer days than most schools due to this procedure. I do understand the strain this late call puts on families. However, similar to the instance of a child waking up with the flu, all parents must have a plan B, which I can get behind that. That is true. Now, here's where it gets me. Extreme cold temperatures, which is what the Midwest is experiencing right now. Weather forecasts that predict extreme cold temperatures will prompt the following procedures. Number one, brace yourself. This is real. I will walk 1 mile at 5 a.m. During this walk, I will wear a medium weight winter coat with no hat or gloves. Well, that's just stupid. That's Darwinism. And this guy's got a PhD. Number two, if I can walk the full mile and I'm not experiencing unbearable skin pain, then I will call the transportation company and inform them we are having school and to prepare the buses. And a couple other things. Note, I use minus 20 below zero as a starting point. The New York Department of Public Health recommends closing schools at minus 25. That is from Patrick Mark Toomey, Superintendent of Schools, Macomb, Illinois. And I think that's fucking ridiculous. By the way, Macomb canceled school without Dr. Toomey taking his 1 mile walk without gloves and experiencing unbearable skin pain. Maybe he realized, I don't want to fucking walk a mile without gloves and a hat because I might experience unbearable skin pain and have to go to McDonough District Hospital and be treated for fucking frostbite. Come on. Macomb, Illinois. Porter is here. Good morning. Tracy's in the house. Good morning. Craig says you live in a good collecting area. It is. Wisconsin, Northern Illinois. We are packed to the gills with a lot of collectors, a lot of buyers, a lot of sellers. Found treasures in the house. What's up? Victor says, true. I had salad and soup yesterday after trashy food at Cubs convention. Yeah. Like I'm way behind in the chat. Zach says, today is a great day to blast those quads on that new step. Weight outliers. Yes. Porter says, I had a good conversation with Al Hraboski last night at Cardinals Caravan. He's the not so mad Hungarian these days. Mark, what's happening? Good morning. John says, white screens are horrible on the eyes. Switch to dark mode. It's not airbrushed. Greg Minton just has a different complexion than basement dwellers like yourself. Teachers do fuck all. Meetings, back to school nights. How about we actually teach things like cleaning scanner rollers? Surf's up. What's up, found treasures? John said he's just shotgunning us this morning. My dog knows when it's cold, and that's when he exacts his revenge on his handlers. Night walks are a little slower in the winter. Dave Arnold, what's up? No school for BPC. Did your superintendent take a 1 mile walk to experience unbearable skin pain? Mark says it's a balmy 46 on the beach in Florida. Get the trunks out Orlando, 60 down in Miami. That's cold for South Florida. John says it's 29 fucking degrees in Vegas. Walked by the hotel pool last night. There's towels out. Who the hell is pooling right now? Merle says, I used to have Borzois, and they would take their time when we went for walks when it was minus 40. I wasn't a fan of that, but those dogs are Russian, so there you go. Yeah. Wherever my in-laws are, check the temp there. John says, eggs, gas, and temps dropping under the new administration. Fucking swing state assholes. Got an email last night that our Houston location is closing due to snow. That made me pause for a second. Wow. Snow in Houston. How often does it snow in Houston? It's got to be like a once every couple of years. Maybe? I don't know. I'm not too keen on the climate in Houston. Mark says it's warmer in Siberia than it is in Wisconsin. John says we got snow in southeast Texas last night, 27, minus 19 in upper Michigan. Whew, that's the coldest. Upper Michigan, minus 19. JK says, what is the total value of Bo's store? Any guesses? Oh, you can take some guesses in the chat. I can look it up. John says the more people that sell their stores, the better for the rest of us. Absolutely. Keep pulling off your listings. Get rid of the card tourists while flooding the market with cheaper cards. Gundy, he's got a 1 degree colder in Blair, Wisconsin, minus 20. And that's not too far from me. John says, I have low balls. But moving on, the ones that say they know nothing about cards, saying no low balls is stupid. I agree. Like, if you don't know anything about cards, how can you consider an offer low or good? You have an idea. Card Hobbyist says, calling for 3 to 6 inches of snow in Pensacola, Florida. Holy shit. The average high temp in Pensacola during January is normally 61 degrees. This is insane. Floyd is here. What's up? Good morning. Looks like a great bobblehead collection. Are they all Chicago players or an assortment? All but I think 2. I've got a John Mayberry Negro Leagues bobblehead that my buddy Steve gave me. Let's see. I've got a Giannis that I picked up in the Amalfi Coast, close to Greece. And technically, I mean, there's a couple like non-Cubs, but they're all Cubs related with the exception of Giannis and Mayberry. And there's 3 more that I've got 3 more bobbleheads that I picked up at Cubs Convention that I'm not sure if I'm going to put them on eBay. So we'll get to John's comment in a second. So Cubs Convention, I didn't talk about this yesterday. Cubs Convention has grab bags, and this is like the best part, one of the best parts. They have last year they started bobblehead grab bags, and for $50, you get 3 of the stadium giveaway bobbleheads from the previous year. Great deal. And obviously, I like bobbleheads. So, and they only let you buy one or the other this year. Last year, they let you buy one of each. So I went with the bobblehead grab bag because usually the giveaway bag, the stadium giveaway, I always bought it because there's one bobblehead usually in there. And I'd buy it for the bobblehead, and then I'd sell off the rest of the trinkets that are inside. This year, I just went with a bobblehead bag. So there's 3 bobbleheads. One of them, NASCAR night. Clark the Cub, NASCAR night bobblehead. Number 2, Marvel Superheroes night. Low-key, whatever the hell that is. And then Nico Horner. So I'll keep Nico Horner. And I think I'm going to put Low-key and NASCAR on eBay. Because, I mean, even though they're bobbleheads, it's like, they're not like Cubs. Like, I got Hulk Hogan, but I'm a wrestling fan. So it's a Hulk Hogan Cubs giveaway, though. Okay, John says you can't know a low ball offer if you also don't know cards. Exactly. Is my microphone on? When I see junk wax era flagships and binders, then I move right on. And I saw a lot of junk wax. Mark says if you see a graded Eddie and OJ, always go look. Some of the best lots I've found. And that's probably, that gave me pause. Like, okay, what else could be in there? Nick saw the same lot, got the same exact response. So did you take it any further? Did you get any other inkling to what a fair price would have been? Big John, what's going on? Good morning. Red light is here. He's late, but he made it. That's okay. We're always a little tardy in this room. What an odd fetish, says Unicorn Cupcake. Kyle says that superintendent sounds very ridiculous and way overpaid. So, by the way, I did look it up. He gets paid a hair under $227,000, which, depending on where you live, may not be that much. But in Macomb, Illinois, where there's a 30% poverty rate, $227,000 goes pretty far. Dave Arnold lives in Macomb. He can attest $227,000 a year in Macomb, Illinois is living pretty high on the hog. Tiger 727 says that letter about canceling school is one of the dumbest things I have heard. Moron. Sounds like he is an educated idiot. Yeah, he's one of them educated idiots. That's for sure. Cooter says we close schools at 0 wind chill and below because winter gear is not a thing in the South. Understandable. Merle says, I can see the superintendent losing some fingers or tips of his ears due to frostbite. Darwinism. I'd be okay with it. Mark Stillwagon, what's up? 52 in Naples, Florida. Not too bad. I'd take 52 over minus 14. Orlando says probably a record in Naples. Merle says our station showed the highways in Houston. Snow, ice, and not a car in sight. Mikey's back. What's up? Good morning. I just changed a bunch of my higher priced items to auctions since they are overpriced. It's a good strategy. But he has a concussion. That's not good. Well, get well. Nick says I didn't waste any more time with him. A little far away. Yeah. And it's not as far away for me. It's, maybe a half an hour. I think he was in Oregon, half an hour away, but still, like, when you give that response, I don't know cards, but I don't want to lowball. Like, okay, what do you think you have there? With the exception of the Eddie Matthews, there was a Jack Ham, there was, I saw the OJ, but everything else looked like junk. And I always assume with lots like that, the 89 Fleer, probably every Ken Griffey Jr. was pulled out of there. So I didn't even mess around with it. I'm going to text my buddy Steve because he buys. I'm going to text him to see if he bought it because it is marked sold. I'll text Steve to see if he got it. Cooter says, get used to the cold and heat extremes and accept climate change is fake news. Mikey says, my goal this year is to reach 1,000 followers in my eBay store. Very cool. Getting followers on eBay is tough. Like social media, you can get followers, but man, it's hard to get followers. And I think auctions can help because it drives in. I mean, how do we talk about the whole 10xing thing, and how do you 10x something or 2x something, 3x something? And it's not, you've got to attract new. It's basically like cold calling in sales. You're not going to get new clients if you don't go out and try to reach out to new clients. Yeah, you can get some referral-based businesses. My wife's in real estate. She doesn't have to make any cold calls. 99% of her business, well, I shouldn't say 99% because she also gets, it's basically all through referrals. Sometimes she gets cold called by somebody. Oh, I see you sold these houses in this neighborhood. We're looking in this neighborhood. But real estate, a lot of referral-based business. Selling baseball cards on eBay, not many referrals. I'm sure there are, like, oh, check out this guy's store. He's got good stuff, good prices, all that. But how do you 10x your eBay business? You've got to cater to your existing clientele, but if you want to grow your clientele, like that's going to get you so far. Maybe John Johnson buys $10 in cards every week. Well, keep putting $10 of cards that he might want every week. Maybe he'll come in and buy even more, but you're going to be plateaued. And eventually John Johnson might stop collecting, might stop buying. Something happens. Can't rely on the John Johnsons. You want more John Johnsons and bring in more stuff, different stuff. Now, does that mean I'm going to start selling Pokemon? No, but auctions can bring in different clientele. Some people only search by auctions. Try to list more football and basketball. I tend to focus on baseball, but that's my jam. But if I want to grow a different clientele, I'm going to have to start putting a little more football, find unique things like autographs and to grow, that business, but stay true to my business, selling singles in volume. And that's my base business. And that's going to continue to be my base business. But I'm also going to be on the lookout for other things that I can expand, not only my business and my bottom line, but my customer base as well. Mikey's at 785 followers. Very good. That's a very nice follower number. That's a good start. And 1,000 is a great number to achieve. So that's what I had for today. We didn't even touch on 51 minutes into this program, and I didn't even talk about the national championship game because I didn't even really watch it. Now, I was down here. I worked late last night down in the office here, and I had the game on maybe the first. I think I watched I think I had it on in the background until halftime. I really didn't care. Ohio State and Notre Dame. I wanted Ohio State to win, but didn't give a shit. Didn't care. Didn't really watch it. I had it on in the background while I was working. But I'm glad Ohio State won, beat Notre Dame. Oh, we didn't even talk about the Bears getting a new coach either. Jesus. I'm slipping. Bears got Ben Johnson. I'm happy. That was my number one pick. That's who I wanted them to get. Kind of funny how the Bears interviewed 7,000 different coaches. They had to reach the Rooney Rule. And how about like the Lions lose on Saturday? And it's kind of like the Bears expected the Lions to win and they wanted to drag out this coaching search when they're scheduling these head coaching interviews. They had not yet met the Rooney Rule, where the Rooney Rule is you have to interview 2 minorities from outside the organization, and I think that have never been a head coach before. I think that's an NFL head coach. So they had interviewed who was the first? Ron Rivera, which I guess he's been a head coach in the NFL though. So maybe it's just a minority outside the organization. So Ron Rivera was, and they have to be in person. So it's in person, minority from outside the organization. So Ron Rivera was the first, and the Lions lose on Saturday night. Oh shit, we want Ben Johnson. And they got Eddie George on speed dial. And Eddie George interviews on Sunday in person. And that clinched the Rooney Rule. And so they could make the hire on Monday. And they get Ben Johnson, the offensive coordinator from the Detroit Lions. Hopefully it's a home run choice, but remains to be seen. So we'll see. But I'm happy with that. The Canadian sprinter. No, different Ben Johnson. Different Ben Johnson. Gem City Card Show says, yep, Ben will be gone in 2 years. So sorry. Where is he going? Unicorn Cupcake says, what percent minority is the standard? 50%, 25%? I don't know. I don't know. I would assume it's a lot lower than 25%. Head coaches in the NFL. How many minority head coaches are in the NFL right now? NFL minority. Let's just look up minority head coaches. Oh, so there were 9. So that's about a third. How many teams are in the NFL now? 30 or 32? So if it's 32, that's 28%. If it's 30, that's 30%. So between 25 and 30%. Now I think a few of them have been fired already. So last year, Atlanta's Raheem Morris, New England's Gerard Mayo, who was fired, Las Vegas's Antonio Pierce, also fired, and Carolina's Dave Canellis. So that drops you down to 7. Let's see. And then the others were Mike Tomlin, Todd Bowles, D'Amico Ryan. Robert Saleh, who was fired. Mike McDaniel down in Miami. So let's see. Cooter says it's not zero like it had been for many decades. Yeah, it's definitely gone up, definitely significantly. So alrighty. So that's what I had for today. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Visit my eBay store, 99centcards.com. Save 25% off when you buy 7 or more items at regular price. That's for buy it now items. I do have auctions ending tonight, and we'll stream live here on YouTube starting at about 7 p.m. Central. And we'll count down those auctions at 99centcards.com. Madison Card Show this Saturday. Come on out. 140 sold out dealer tables, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Free admission. Sheraton Hotel, John Nolan Drive, this Saturday for the Madison Card Show. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. We'll do this again tomorrow morning. But in the meantime, we'll hang out tonight at 7 for eBay Auctions Live. See you tonight.